Welcome to ISE Unwrapped. We're here at the precipice of ISE 2025. Hurrairah, what do you think we're going to see this week?
AI.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of AI. I mean, AI is dominating the global tech conversation, right? We've got DeepSeek, we've got ChatGPT from OpenAI, and we've got tons and tons and tons of other competitors popping onto the scene. And I think that the intersection between AV and AI is going to become a bit clearer through the course of ISE 2025.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's a huge topic of conversation, absolutely no doubt about that. My worry is that it's been used by overeager kind of marketing people to sell what we used to call automation 10, 15, 20 years ago. Even the likes of AMX, Estron, Crestron of all doing that automation stuff, and now it's just being repackaged as AI. So it'll be interesting to see if there are true AI innovation out on the show floor this week.
I concur. I think that it's early days and everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon. It is on the professionals and the technicians to make sure that they're doing their due diligence and making 100% certain that the thing is doing what it says on the tin.
Yeah. I think I'm looking for some optimism on the show floor this year. I mean, there was plenty at the show last year, and then 2024 just didn't pan out how a lot of people thought it would in EMEA anyway. It was quite a struggle and quite a tough year for people, and a lot of redundancies at the end of the year. So I'm hoping the message this year is a bit more optimistic. Are you feeling any optimism out there, or do you think it's going to be another tough year?
Hard to gauge, but my answer will be yes. Just based on what I know is going to be released on show, and based on the number of people from my neck of the woods, Asia Pacific, that are making the trek here. Cautious optimism is probably the right way to put it.
I think another huge issue will be sustainability. Do you think that will dominate kind of the discussions this week?
I think so, and that is one of those things that I'm a little bit more optimistic about. I think that the industry is finally taking heed. I think standards and regulations on other sides are also pushing us in the right direction, and I think over the last year, 2024, I've seen a lot of steps being made towards greener outcomes, so that is something that I am going to check out at ISE.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like there's momentum now. I think even from ISE 2023 to ISE 2024, the amount of companies that wanted to talk to you about how sustainability they were, how they're looking at sustainability, increased dramatically. So I'm hoping we get more of the same this year, really. I think I'd like to see more take-up of NDI and TPE 2021, I think, this year. Anything else you'd like to see kind of on the horizon?
Yeah, I want to talk software. I've been thinking a lot about it just during the course of my job covering the AV industry, and I believe that we're almost there. I think we've got the hardware platforms, and I want to see some software with monetization and perhaps a push towards as-a-service models. I think that is going to be something that I will personally be exploring and talking to people a lot about during the course of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think as AV becomes more of a kind of IT process, I think we'll be talking about security probably a lot this week. I think that's a real concern for definitely the end users and clients, if we call them, kind of group them together like that. I think I'm expecting to see a lot of people here this week want to talk to me about how secure especially the AV over IP stuff is, really. That will be a really interesting conversation. Another area I'm looking at is e-paper, which I'm really fascinated by. I think a couple of years ago there was one or two players in that market, really. I think Philips, NEC had solutions. I'm talking to Samsung about that later on today. And apparently there's a 75-inch e-paper screen on the show floor this week, which I'm really interested to see. Yeah. How do you view that as a technology? Do you think that's got some legs?
It really depends on the product.
Yeah.
Really depends on the product. Now that you've said that there is a 75-incher out there, I do want to pop down
all
to
the
that.
All the ones I've seen are all tiny, right?
Yeah.
They're all like 10-inch, 12, 15.
It works perfectly on a Kindle Paperwhite.
Yeah.
But commercial applications, that is the job of someone else to come and figure out, and then my job is to find out how they're doing it.
Sure. And finally, then, you're optimistic about this week? Scared? Nervous about this week? What's the feelings right now?
The vibes are good.
Yeah?
The vibes are good.
Excellent.
There are a lot of quality of life changes that ISE has made to the show. Really interested to see how that impacts the visitor experience. Yeah. I think a lot of booths are actually putting in a bit more effort into how they engage with the visitor. I think that there is a shift away from just come to my booth and I'll show you a bunch of things, and there's a bit more thought and a bit more stagecraft, I'd like to say, in how they're welcoming patrons and visitors into their booths and then guiding their experience off the booth.
Yeah.
Kind of like, almost like a little show and tell.
Yeah, I've seen some lovely booths already. There's a gondola on the TD Cynics Maverick stand that was kind of blew me away a bit, and it's great to see people really go that extra mile with the stand design and stuff, rather than just like here's some shelves with some projectors on them. It's people have totally gone away from that idea now, and it's kind of more of a comfortable, kind of experiential kind of type of vibe. It's a lot better to see. So I'm pumped for this week. I think it's going to be really great. It's always, it's the busiest week of the AV calendar of the year, and we can't wait to get started. And many thanks for joining us, and be sure to stay tuned to Hurrairah Show TV's plenty more videos where this came from. Bye bye.